Yo, what's going on, Donnies and Donettes? And you know what it is. It's another week. So we are back with another episode of the Mobile DJ Mastery Podcast. Cheese. So today we are back with an episode 2. Episode 2, we had to bring him back. Daryl from Sweet Vibe is back again for another banging episode, because when me and Daryl start talking, we just end up doing so much banter and we don't get through all of the questions. So the last time I had him on, we had a bag of questions that we still didn't get through. So I thought we had to bring him back again this week so we can finish part 2 of episode 20 with Daryl from Sweet Vibes. Guys, expect a lot of banter, a lot of jokes. It's going to be like a bit of a comedy show, but you're definitely still going to get a lot of take-homes, as you do each and every week. So, guys, buckle in, strap up, and get ready for this one, because this one's going to be just full of hilarious jokes. You know what we're like, so tune in and get ready for this episode. But before we get there, you know what I'm about to talk about, don't you? You know what I'm about to talk about. Level Up Live. This, guys, is going to be the one event that is bound, already guaranteed to evolve and change the industry. Now, I want you to remember, there's only going to be 50 spaces left. There's only going to be 50 spaces available, not left, available. So once they come out, the best thing for you to do, if you want to be part of that 50, is to sign up to the waiting list. And that way, once tickets come out, the waiting list gets first dibs. After that, then it goes out to the public. So we are doing a small knit community because we didn't want to open it out to that massive wide audience. We want a close knit to make sure that those DJs that are really serious about upping their game, because I know it's not everyone. A lot of people listen to the podcast, a lot of people engage with the social, but only a few people really want to do the things that are necessary to then be able to 10x their business for 2026. So if that's you, make sure, if you haven't already, sign up to the waiting list, and I'll see you on the 22nd of February, man, where we can all level up in many ways, more than one. But right about now, it's all about this episode. So roll that sexy intro and let's get into this one. Yes, man, we are back again for round 2. My man Daryl from Sweet Vibes.
Ons crew.
Yo, what you saying, Daryl, man?
What's
you good, bro?
going on? I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm fantastic, man. So glad to have you on. Where's my tissues, bro? I need to get my
Tissues ready?
Where's my tissues? My tissues are not even local. It's gonna have to be It's gonna be one of these ones today,
sleeve
guys.
It.
It's gonna be a sleeve one today. It's
gonna be dripping sleeves by the end of it. Oh God.
No, man. Thanks for joining me again on this episode. The last episode, obviously, as you know, like me and you just talk. So I had so much more questions that I still wanted to ask you that we're going to actually get into in this episode. And if you haven't listened to the last episode, make sure you head over to go in. It will be in the description notes, the last episode I've done with Daryl, where it'll probably be best for you to listen to that one first and then come and listen to this one. So it kind of makes a bit more sense and sort of that stuff. So we don't want to dilly-dally. So we're going to get into the questions ASAP, because I know time is of the essence so I want to make sure we get the value out. All right, so on the last episode, we spoke to Darren. We found out about how we started. His story is epic, bro. We put some great pictures. We've got pictures and everything of his setup, so definitely go and have a look at that. We also looked at how Daryl's got one of his own gifts on Instagram. So Giphy, if you want to know how to get your own gift, head over there and he'll be talking about it as well. We spoke about his awards, the highs and lows when it comes to awards. We spoke about that also. And we spoke about when he did the special VIP gig. No, birthday. He did the 30th birthday for, I say her name wrong because I know
Jack
her just...
Josser.
Jack Josser. I know her from EastEnders.
Lauren from EastEnders.
Lauren from EastEnders, but her name is Jack Josser. Brilliant
Josser.
girl, amazing. Actually, her Instagram, I actually checked her out afterwards, and yeah, man, she's doing it. She's doing a bit. She's doing a bit with her family and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, man, she's got a lot of followers as well, man. I think she's like 3.5 mil. I said, God damn.
But she won I'm a Celebrity as well, didn't she? So that
Oh,
boosted
did
it
she?
even more.
Oh, no way.
I think she won it. Yeah, I'm sure that's right. You'd have to double check
No,
that.
but no, I will check it. But
I'm pretty
probably
sure.
because I don't know much. When I was like, I looked at her and I looked at a couple of other EastEnders, and none of them was in the millions. There was something like 700,000. So for her to be on, she must have done something that is like that kind of pushed her more
Boosted
out to
that
the
extra.
wider, to more of the wider people, man.
Because
But
I don't watch EastEnders, so I'm not about that.
no,
So I
me
knew of
neither.
her. I knew who she was, obviously, but I think more so just
Yeah, I'm the same. So if you want to go and check out some of that stuff, check out the new episode, and we're going to roll on with this episode. So, Dal, first question of today for this episode, bruv, which I want to know. Mr. Dal from Sweet Vibes, what are your views?
I love it. I know what you're going to say.
No, what am I going to say?
Let's get into beat matching. Let's go.
Bro, let's start with that. Early doors, out the gates. What's your views on beat matching? Come on, let's go. Let's have it.
This is the most essential part of being a DJ. It's the basic entry-level requirement, I believe, to being a DJ. And there's many reasons behind it. Firstly, like that is when you say someone's a DJ, you're not just playing music, are you? There's an art to it.
There's a science, 100%.
Yeah, you're not just playing music. Otherwise, you are essentially a glorified jukebox, aren't you? You select a track and you just play it and job done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think with the dance floor, if you want to get the dance floor continuously moving, you have to seamlessly go from one into the next, into the next, into the next. And doing that, when you see, I mean, I speak to couples all the time about this, and it's quite mad actually how clued up they are about this now. Because a lot of them say, I went to my sister's wedding and then the DJ was weird, like he'd be playing a song and then he would fade it. And there'd be like that little pause, and then he'd press play on the next one. But the momentum just gets lost. As soon as the second you stop that track, you've lost it.
100.
And all right, if they're a nutty crowd and they're all out of their face, would they? Is that a tree moving in the background?
I brought in my foliage because I forgot it. I was like, my foliage needs to come in. Sorry to interrupt you. You wasn't supposed to see that. But I just kind of had to bring it in.
I'm like, what is that sneaking in the background? It's like a bushman coming into the background. I'm like, what is that?
So for the guys listening, sorry, I just kind of brought my foliage into shot because it's kind of sitting on the side. Sorry.
I was like, what is that? I got my brightness turned right down as well because my battery's not like, it's not peaking right now. I'm on about 50%, so I'm squinting already to try and see what's going on my phone. I see this little hairy, bushy thing coming into the shot, and I'm like, "What the hell is that?
Going on?
What is that?" Brilliant. But sorry, sidetracking. Let's go back. So we're having it seamless like that.
Yeah,
transitioning just stops that whole loss of the momentum of the dance floor.
100%.
I mean, it's state the obvious, and couples that I spoke to, like I said, have said, you know, I went to my sister's wedding, went to my brother's wedding, DJ was just, you know, playing songs, and I know a lot of people say it's all about what you play as well, and obviously that is a massive part
100%. We're not, 100%.
That is a big part of it, and it's knowing what to play, when to play. But I always find that I try not to skip genres too quickly as well. So when you're mixing, obviously you've got to mix at similar tempos. You can't go from one extreme to another.
Yes.
So it's like when you're playing like a bit of 80s music, you try and either start off at like the 114 BPM and knock it up, and you can gradually do it by selecting certain songs that are just slightly above if you want to get
and then you
it
just
faster.
start to creep up.
But I'll always play like 80s music together. You can't say if everyone's like bopping away and having a great time and you've played like an 80s, but I'm just using 80s as an example.
Yeah.
But like you play an 80s banger and you get the aunties come up and they're like, "Woo, this is my time now. I'm all happy." And then if you then just slam it into a garage one, they're going to look at you and be like, "You're a dick, mate.
100%.
You've just killed my vibe.
You've killed my vibe." And the garage people are not going to feel it neither because it's not helping anyone. Yeah.
So you have to gradually build it. And that is all part of the mixing process. You have to mix from one to another, and then you slip through the different genres. And you know what it's like. You have different genres that are similar BPM. So if you want to transition over to something, then you just find a genre that's got a similar sort of BPM and then you can mix it. it. But I mean, there's even things. I mean, there's so many great tools and things out there now, and sites that you can download certain tunes from. Like, I've got loads of transition mixes that actually help transition. If you're going from an R&B to a club classic, then there's transitions. I've started actually making my own recently. I've been doing my own mashups and
I know
man's in the stews, bro. Man's in the stews. I'm in the stews. I'm getting down with it. But yeah. But there's so many tools out there like that now. There's even AI software now that can help mix. Like, for people, if you really don't want to mix, there is AI software, and I downloaded this because I was so intrigued.
Intrigued to see what's going to happen, how's it going to work? Yeah.
It's good, and it works, but it's quite technical. So if you want to get into it and learn it properly, it will take time, because I threw like a load of club classics in there, and I thought, let's see what it does with it.
What's it does with it? Yeah.
And you know what? Because I like mixing, I like playing around and filtering, and I use the stems and all that, which stems for me at the moment. I can't
best
get enough of it.
Spreading it, innit?
Best thing ever. Best thing. The amount of fun I have, like back in the day when you used to mix vinyl, like you had no options. There was barely even any effects back in the day. You just had to go from one to the other and just try and be creative by flicking the crossfader or something. So it's like,
chop.
Yeah, just chopping that little cut. You just chopping a vocal. It's like boom, 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 like just flicking around with the faders. But now there's so many tools. There's so many things out there. So there is no excuse for not being able to do it now.
No,
it's basic. It's absolutely basic. And I'm not being funny. Sorry to interrupt.
Go on.
This for me, like, you can't tell me that you haven't got the time to rehearse mixing or practice mixing for 20 minutes a day in the evening, rather than sitting there scrolling on Instagram and TikTok and all that. Get your decks out, mate, and have a little play around.
Yeah, 100%.
Just get on with it and practice. It doesn't take that. It's not difficult.
No, it's not. You just got to spend time. You just got to invest the time in learning.
And again, I'm not being funny, but you've even got the sync button now.
You've got the sync button. You've got the little red dots on the tracks. You can see the tune.
You can see. I know, this is it. You can see the music on a grid. So you've only got to look at it and line up. I mean, I'm not being funny, but without headphones, I reckon I could mix a whole night of a wedding.
Yeah, just by using the waves. Just
by looking at the waves on the screen. No problem. You could wing it quite easily. So yeah. And I know you're a big one on this as well. So
massive,
when I see your post about beat matching and just being able to mix, it's just, I love it.
And it's funny because, don't get me wrong, like 80% of people are like, 100. There's most people that are like, I thought that was what DJs did. There's some punters in there that are like, what? They're looking at me like, why did you even post this?
Yeah.
Like, of course DJs mix. I'm like, no. Go through the comments. There's a couple in there. Like, no, it's all about, and I say to all of them, I'm not saying this, I never not once said it's not about the music. 100 trillion %.
Oh yeah.
You can't just beat match and then you've got it.
It's an equal split,
It's an equal split. But the first thing you're going to probably learn is your beat matching, because you can't learn the music stuff until you have an audience and you've got people and you can learn, that's not working, maybe let me change it. And then you learn from terrible nights, great nights and things of that nature. But your beat matching,
all of that's trial and error when it comes to so once you can mix, that's it. Then you can go out there and you can be like, right, now I need to look at the audience, learn to crowd read.
Yes.
Again, that's another part.
That's another skill. That's another thing that you
learn. And it all blends together. So if you can master all of those little things of song selection, mixing, crowd reading, then it's easy. But you have to learn the basics of each, and you're only going to do that through practice and experience.
Yes, 100%.
And it will come, but the basic. Just learn to mix. Learn to mix two songs together, and your parties will fly a lot better.
100%.
I mean, if they're flying good, if you've got people coming to you saying my parties are sick and I don't mix. Well, imagine how much better they'll be if you do mix.
I was saying this to one guy. I was saying this to one guy. Like, I feel like he was doing exactly like what you just said. And then I was like, but, and obviously I could tell. When he's in the comments, and I can tell he wants to fight. He wants to scrap in the comments. And I'm like, brother, I'm not here to scrap. I'm just here to try and get this message across. And I said the same thing to him. I was like, brother, I'm sure you're shelling. His Instagram was whack. I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, I'm I'm sure you're hard at it. But if you could mix as well, imagine. I'm trying to inspire him to be like, bruv, just give it, a couple evenings and try it one night. I guarantee people be like, I've been watching you DJ for years. That sounded really slick.
It's like anything. You just have to practice though. When I started out, when I was a kid, and I'm saying I was like 12, 13, and I had a mate of mine who also was like getting into the whole DJ thing, and he had a bit of, his mum and dad had a bit of money, so he had like he had the full 1210s. He had like the proper everything. He had a sick DJ set up in his room, and we used to go there and we used to record tapes, right?
Yeah.
Tapes, not CDs.
Not CDs, bro.
We do it. Tapes. We used to record onto a cassette tape. And mate, when I had it for years, and I wish I knew where it was now, because
Same,
it was
your first recording tape recording.
It was the funniest shit. It was all over the place.
Yeah, mine was terrible as well, bro.
But at the time, we were just loving it. We were trying
I was so excited.
to be like DJ EZ. We were like,
same, I swear to God.
We was like trying to cut in. But it was tough, and we didn't know what we was doing. We were just winging it. Some mixes were like just about passable, but you could hear us fighting, so you could hear the tune speeding up and then slowing down.
You're trying to catch up to it, and then
it is what it is. Though that's what you do. You start out. You're not going to be. If you think you're going to just get into mixing and just kick it like that,
nah,
you ain't. It's going to take time. It's going to take practice.
100%.
But you've got time. Like I'm not being funny. If you're a full-time DJ as well, you cannot tell me you have not got time in the week. That's bollocks.
Yeah, now you're taking. You've got
time to even get them out for 1 hour and have a play around with. There is no excuse whatsoever. And like I said, with the AI and the technology and the sync button, it basically does it for you now. It literally does it for you. So how you can say that I don't do it or I don't want to do it is ridiculous. That's
I knew. I kind of knew you was going to say that. That's why I kind of started with it.
I love it. I love talking about this
because obviously I see you, Darren. You've been mixing before you even came to the wedding space. Do you know what I mean? You've been mixing like with if people go to the last episode, the picture of the equipment that you had, the Gemini SL 600s, the two silver ones. Do you know what I love, Darren? Yeah, is that when you was talking about the silver desk, it's in the picture, bro. Daryl, it's in the picture, man. You spray, and I swear you talk about your house part. I'm looking, I'm like, is that your house? Like, you can kind of see your fireplace a little bit.
Fireplace, yeah.
I love it. I love that. It was so authentic. When you sent me that picture, I was like, yes. And you was like, oh, it's a photo of a photo. I was like, no, it needs to be authentic, bro.
That's what I mean. It wasn't even digital back then. It was literally a camera that it was like my mum's camera, and you had to go and get it developed in fucking Boots and shit. Like, you'd have to go to Boots and stand there, like just wait for it.
And then you have to open to see if they turn out any good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, is it good?
I know, yeah. They all come out. Everyone's got a red eye. It's all blurry. Yeah, trust, man.
Do you know what, though? Do you know what is funny, though? When I look at my mum's old photo albums, all the photos are half decent. Like
they are. I
bro,
know.
They're like kind of sharp. And I'm like, this is in the 90s. Like, we never had no autofocus, no. It was like, just a basic, and you had to wind it up to that.
The disposable
the
disposable
ones. But when you took them to the zoo or something, and you're clacking away, and then like you say, like a week later, you're inside the shop, you're getting them done. They looked half decent. I was like, I don't know how photos look worse now for some people, when back then there was no YouTube, no tutorials, nothing. And everyone was taking banging pictures.
Isn't it? And it's weird how times have changed. But that's again, this is going back to technology, isn't it? The technology's there now. There's no excuses for things.
There's no excuse.
Everyone had it hard, like in the 90s, man. And times were different.
Yeah, times were difficult back then.
Even for like content, like I wish to God, right?
Same.
So when I was young, when I was like 14, 15, and my dad teamed me up. I think I said this in the last one when I started. Like I used to go out with this band. And they were basically like the function band, but not on that level. Like it was very different. It was just like a normal band. They were just playing. I would do the DJ bits. We used to do these banging weddings all around the country. My dad used to drive me there. And I wish to God that I could find some sort of video.
I know, same.
But again, like videographers back then.
It was a myth.
No one really had video. The big BBC camera.
Yeah, with the big floodlight. Like.
with an eyepiece as well that they look through.
Yeah, the scope.
They had a scope on it.
Scope. on his shoulder. He would rest on his shoulder.
Literally. But
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Mate, if I could go back, if I could just get a bit of footage. In fact, I still know one of the band members, and I did reach out and I messaged him. I said, do you think that maybe there'd be, and he was like, nah, no chance. And I was just like, it was worth the shot. Do you know what I mean? If I could find some when I used to put my gear on a table with a little Maplin's light sequencer that used to flash the 4 colours like this at the front.
Maplins. Do you know what though?
R.I.P.,
Don't you miss
man.
it though? Don't you miss
R.I.P.
it though? R.I.P. Maplins. You could go there and get anything you wanted. A fuse, a solder iron.
Anything.
You could make your own stuff. I remember that light he was talking about as well. It was called Pro Sound from a brand.
That's it. It was like a little square
Orange,
box.
yellow.
I probably got
was
a
it the
picture
square
of
box
that
one?
somewhere. But yeah, it was like a little seat. I used to have the light boxes. Do you remember the light boxes?
Oh, that's going back, innit?
This is like, I know. Well, there was a guy. I think it was in the. This is how old it was. This is how young I was at the time. This guy advertised that he was selling some mobile DJ equipment in the local paper. Like, we didn't have Google. You can't just go on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Everything was like in the paper.
Yeah.
And I remember I rang him up and I was like, yeah. Apparently, like his dad was a mobile DJ and he passed away. And he had this whole garage full of equipment. And obviously, being a young teenager, I was like 15, 16. I was like, oh, sick. So I went in there, I was like, yeah, I'll have that. My dad's paying for it all. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll have that. I'm trying to take all this stuff. And amongst it, they had these big, massive square boxes that had the different colour bulbs. And it was all like abstract. Yeah,
little funny shapes.
like proper old school. And I was gassed at the time. I was like,
no, but that was lighting at the time, innit?
Yeah, but that is what it was. And I was like, I used to look at that and be like, oh, I want to get those light boxes. Like, they look sick. This is proper showing age though now.
Yeah, it is.
So old school.
I said last episode, we're dinosaurs now, we've got to embrace that. I got to embrace it, bro.
But yeah, that for me, I was gassed, and I had those, and I took them out for a little while. But then technology started coming in, and we started seeing like all the scanners and things. Like, I mean, a lot of the real big equipment, like scanners, and I mean, moving heads weren't really a thing, and if they were like unreachable for the average.
Yeah, that
DJ.
was like
This
$2,000,
like
$3,000.
Yeah, nightclubs used to have big stage shows. Used to have the mobile DJs. There was nothing really like that.
No way.
Back in the day, it was just all coloured, flashy bulbs, and everything was bulbs as well. That's the other mad thing. Do you know how many bulbs I popped when I used to throw it in my van because they'd be red hot.
Yeah.
At the end of the night, 'cause they were proper
I didn't think about that.
And I used to throw it all in the car, and I'd get to the gig the next day, and all the fucking bulbs were out. So good old Maplins used to bang down to Wood Green on the 184 bus, mate.
Yeah.
I used to go.
I imagine there might have been one day we was both in there, bro.
We crossed paths.
We was both in there, bro.
I'm telling you, mate, Maplins in Wood Green. I used to get the bus up there, man. I even had like a big, I built my own subwoofer once, like my own bass box thing for my gigs. And I made it out of wood and that. It was mental, this thing. I probably got a picture of this somewhere, but I'll have to go through like the actual photographs and see if I can dig one out. And I went to Maplins and I needed to buy the actual cone and a grill to go on the front. So, you know, those old sort of like metal grills you used to put on the front of the speaker. And Maplins used to do all that, man. They used to have all those little bits.
You could literally build stuff in there. It was sick.
Yeah,
it was so sick. And there's no replacement for Maplins because Maplins was good for the guy that just wanted to make little things in his house or repair stuff, and you know what I mean? Like, and there's no replacement. They left us and there was nothing else. So Maplin, man, if you're listening,
and now Amazon
bring out an online store. Amazon Prime, that's it. And
that's it.
There'll be some things dead that you can't find. In Maplin, you can walk around and be like, oh, I could use that. You know how you wouldn't even know it existed.
It's like 20p fuse, but then you get it on Prime, it's like, $14.99.
Plus $7.99 shipping.
You're like, hang on. $14.99 for a little bloody bit of wire. You're taking the piss, a little fuse. I'm like, what? But it's okay because you got Prime, so you get free delivery. I'm like, $14.99 still. Nah, man, mug off. Mug off.
No, this is what happens. This is what happens.
I know, we're sidetracking, didn't we, again? Sorry.
No problem, man, because I'm enjoying myself.
We got Maplins.
Big up my place. Me.
Bo- 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 bo-
And for anyone who doesn't beat match, man, go on YouTube. There's free tutorials there all the time. Just sit down, like Daryl said, 20 minutes a day for like just a couple of weeks and learn your beat matching. When you feel a bit
Easy.
confident, do a gig with it, and I'm telling you, it will change your life. You can start using stems and all the other effects that you're neglecting because you don't beat match, so you're losing out on some of your equipment. So
But
learn that.
why have a massive controller that does all these tricks and you only use it to just play? Just go and get
Using
a
it
little seat.
100%.
Just go and get 2 iPods, mate, and just play one to
100%.
the other. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you got
You
all
don't
these
need-
buttons.
man's got
Even
the FX10.
basic controllers.
Yeah,
though, as
even
well.
the little
they have
entry-level
sick
tiny
little-
ones.
Yeah, they have sick stuff on them that you can do. And anyway,
Yeah.
so you don't
and
even need to go
that,
mad.
Even that you can beat match on those tiny little things. That you can still
Yeah.
beat match. So there's no excuse. All right, we're gonna move on swiftly. Another thing I wanted to ask, Daryl, is what do you think's worse, Daryl? A limiter in a venue or an in-house sound? What do you think's worse, bro, for you personally?
That's hard. That's a really, really
No, it's a hard one.
suppressive.
That's why I'm hitting you with these ones today, bro, because I know you're
Because
seasoned. Is it the limiter or is it the in-house sound? Which one, Daryl, for you is like, nah, do you know what?
I'm going to choose both. Both are equally as crap as the other. Oh my God. You just opened a can of worms and we ain't got time for this, man. We're going to have to do a part 3 on this one. Jesus Christ. Right. Jesus, man, what have you done? You just dropped a bomb here,
bomb.
mate.
And
This
the
is
thing
something
is-
that I'm really passionate
I
about.
know
You
it
know
is
what I'm
now.
saying?
I know it gets you seriously that your emotions come out on this one, bro. Do you know what I mean? But I know that you've got views because obviously I've got my views
Yeah.
also. But tell me what is your thoughts on the whole
Right.
limiter and the in-house sound stuff?
I can tell you stories with both, which have just shafted me so hard. It's
Okay.
been unbelievable. So sound limiters, I hate. Every DJ hates. They are a pain in the arse. And with a sound limiter, I feel that I can't do the job that I've been booked for.
Yeah.
Because I'm constantly either cutting it out because it's
Yep.
not loud enough
Yep.
and I can't vibe when it's quiet.
Yep.
It's really hard. The crowd don't vibe. I
Nope.
don't vibe. I feel like I can't be myself, which I just then don't
You're limited.
They're looking at me like, you ain't the same guy that I saw on Instagram where you're all like lovey, living your best life. And I'm trying to be, but I can't bloody hear it. So I can barely mix because unless you bring a monitor with you, which I do sometimes with these ones, I have like a little monitor speaker so I can hear it at least, so I can able to
A little
mix.
bit, yeah, do
Some
something.
are so quiet. I mean, some are all right. There's some you can get away with. There's one in Essex that I can pretty much do what I normally do, and it just flickers the red sometimes if I go a little bit bass heavy sometimes
thing
with
is,
a
though,
garage or something.
The thing is, though, yeah, see that with those venues there, you know you're going well over 100, innit? You do know that, like because I guarantee you, all your sets are around that, like 100 decibel, maybe even a little bit more. Because even me, there's sometimes, where
I don't get this whole
there's a
decibel
limiter.
thing.
There'll be some venues where there's a limiter, and I'm like, there's a limiter, or I won't find out until later. I won't know until I'm, mid-set, and then someone will come and be like, can you turn it down? I'm like, why? They're like, there's a limiter up there. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, it's 9 o'clock. Like, if there's a limiter, I should have known by now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then I rock on. There's one thing I can't remember what it was called. It's in Hertfordshire somewhere. It's like a castle type place, and they've got like an old school limiter with the light bulb, yellow, red, like the old light bulbs right at the back. And there was like, it's got a limiter, bro. The gig we did there, we had LD 44 G2s, and we was driving. It's a big sound system, and I was like, that's gonna clip. Like, look at the big sound system, it's gonna clip, bro. We done the whole night with a band, and that never clipped. So I think some venues they have a limiter installed, and maybe they're not.
Yeah, they're
elaborated
not as bad,
or they're not as sensitive, but some venues, boy, geez.
Yeah, some. There's one that I can't go back to, and I've said no because
you don't have to mention it though. I don't want to get you in any stick.
Yeah, no, I'm not name dropping. I'm not name dropping
because I don't want people like, oh my god.
But there was one venue, that I mean, we mutually agreed that I won't go back there because this venue allowed me one night of not having it plugged in. Because I think they did. I don't think this was a
Ah.
council set one. I think they did this themselves because their residents nearby. They didn't want to piss them off, so they thought, let's put it in place. And I used to do some banging weddings there. But since they've had the limiter, I've just been struggling, and I just cannot do it. And this bride kicked off because she was like, when she booked the venue, they didn't have it then. So she said,
and
well,
they've installed it in between
and they've
time.
gone all out on their entertainment. They've booked me. I think they booked an MC, sax, bongos.
Yeah,
I'm like,
everything.
we can't shell all this out with this limiter being this quiet. And I warned her, and she just went nuts at the venue. And they said, look, as a one-off, we're going to switch it off for the night. So I just went in there and just did what I normally do. And they came back to me and they were like, no, sorry, it's not going to work out. Like we were looking at the sound and it was like pushing 110 dB or something for the majority of the night. And I'm like, I'm just doing my job. They paid me to do what I do. Like,
This is what I do. This is what I do.
can't just constantly be turning it down. Like if you can't have that, then offer something different.
Yeah.
Like, don't offer parties. You clearly can't have a party. I mean, having a restricted party like that is
It's
just
the worst thing because you're restricting the
stupid.
party. Or if anything, I think that the venue should just be fully transparent with the client.
Yeah.
Because as you know, though, like actually going back to what you see,
But
I'm
they
learning from you
never are,
now.
though.
They never are, but I'm learning from you now. What was it you said? There's a client for everybody. There's someone for everybody, right? This is what you said in the last podcast. But so there will be some people that don't want like subs, big sound. No. I kind of want an 80 decibel party, 75.
Yeah, background. We don't want to go too
background.
hard.
I want to have
If
a little
people want
chat.
to dance,
If
they
people
can
want
dance.
to boogie, but I
Yeah.
don't like hands in the air, fist bumping and all of that. Like glow sticks. No, we're not really trying to do that. We're trying to have a bit
And
more of a
that's
two-step.
fair.
You know
That's
what I mean?
the venue for them.
That's the venue for them. And then
Perfect.
I think that the client should always, the venue should ask the client, you know, in terms of party, what are you looking for? And if someone's like, yeah, I want to go all in, it's my best day. Like I'm big in Ibiza. I love dance music. I love clubbing. I love festivals. I want to have a raging party. The venue should say, we might not be the venue for you because we've got a limiter installed and that could be limited. And
Yes,
it
but I
might
think they
change
get
the choice of
greedy
DJ.
and they just want to get the booking and then they'll suffer it later on.
Suffer
and
it
then
later on, which is
once
bad
they've
for the
paid their
client.
money,
Yeah,
but
they've
once
paid
they've
their
paid their
money.
money, then what they're going to do? They're not going to cancel it, are they? They're going to
100%.
have to just go with what they've booked.
Yeah.
And I think that's naughty and that's not fair. And they should be upfront with people because the thing is, I feel like out of all the industry people in the wedding industry, all that sector, I feel like DJs have it the worst. I think we're always the most frowned upon. We're always the one that the nuisance makers, they come in, they're too loud, you know. There's always this stigma, I feel like.
Yeah, of some kind of stigma.
But with like makeup artists, there's never any issue. They go in, they do their thing, but there's always like whenever there's DJs involved, I get emails. I got one from the other day. I've got one in Norfolk coming up. And they're like, I went there 2 years ago. And oh my God, this guy, he came up to me and he goes, well, I'm going to be a bit of a pain in your ass tonight. I'm like, oh, fantastic. It's just exactly what I want to be hearing. And he was like, listen, we haven't got a sound limiter. However, we have neighbours and I will tell you to turn it down every time it goes too loud. And I was like, all right. So he's probably going to come up a few times and tell me to turn it down.
Cool, no problem.
Now, I was already clued up about this because they did warn me. So I thought, I'm not going to bring my big boy speakers. I've got smaller ones, my little white ones, my DB technologies. They're a little bit more. I use them for like doing like mixes outside, like for drinks reception and stuff like that. They're just small, little bass box. They're not powerful. Like they can do a party.
They'll get the job done, but they're not big sound, innit? They're not
booming. There's not massive bass on it or anything. So I thought, let me bring them, and then hopefully that will eradicate this geezer from pissing me off all night. Keep coming over, telling me to turn it down. As soon as we started, he was right up at the booth. Got to turn it down, mate. I'm like, it's not even that loud.
Started. I ain't even got into it. Like
literally, it was like the first song of the night. So I've turned it down. He goes more, and I'm turning it down, and I'm like, bruv, I can't deal with this. And he went so low, and I was like, oh wow. So as soon as he fucked off, I creeped it back up again.
As we do, though.
He was back within a minute.
Of course he was back.
And
of course.
This battle went on all night long. Like he was just constantly. He may as well have just stayed in the booth because he was like, a second he walked back, I'm creeping it back up again because I'm like, I can't mix. I need to be able to hear the song to mix the song. It's too quiet. So anyway, they've emailed me now saying we've got this sound system installed, so you have to plug into it. I'm like, here we go. So sound systems that are already installed.
Let's hear about it, though.
So I've done a few of these and I fucking hate them. One venue I've completely boycotted from this, and any inquiry now, I'm sorry, can't do it.
Yeah, can't do
we
it,
won't
yeah.
work there. Yeah, well, I can't name drop. Let's just be
Yeah, let's
careful.
not name drop because
we're
like,
not going to name drop.
The industry is small now, so
I know,
yeah, we're not doing
careful.
that. Yeah,
but I
we've got to be
went to
careful.
one, and it was the most ridiculous sound system. When they messed with it, they said, "Oh, we've got a void sound system in place that you need to plug into." I was like, banging.
Ooh, void. Ooh.
Void. This is like festival style. Void sound system. I'm like, no problem, mate.
Yeah,
Saves
they think,
me getting the. Saves
Some
me
other
getting the
venues tried that.
speakers up. I can just leave it in the van.
They try
mate.
it, man. Function one speakers. We got function one speakers. You're like, oh, function one.
I
yeah.
know. We're going to be shelling out. It's like
Absolute
festival stuff.
rubbish.
Bollocks, mate. I turned up and there was this tiny. It was a void, but I don't know whether they got this from Maplin's or not. I don't know. I think someone stuck a void badge on this thing, mate. It was terrible. It was like a little box like this. It was about this big, like literally this big, and it was in the corner of the room. And I'm looking at him like, he goes, "Yeah, you got to plug into that." And I'm like, "But what is that? Like, that's like a little bass box. Like, what is that? Where the sound comes from?" He's like, "Oh no, we got speakers on the roof." So I've looked up in the corner of the room, and at two ends of the room, you had these tiny. They look like, you know, like your mum's old hi-fi system when you
with the little
these little wooden box like speakers up on
with
the
a
walls,
and a little mesh in front of
yeah,
it.
it had them. Yeah, it had the like
tights.
tights.
Like
tights.
the
girls'
yeah,
tights.
yeah.
It was like that. That's exactly it. And this is what they had up on the roof. And I'm looking and I'm like, this can't be right. So anyway, you know about the tights.
The tights.
You got the tights.
Your mum's speakers with the tights in the front. This is a venue. This is a
venue that does real weddings.
Oh my god!
So anyway, so I've been like, okay, cool, right? Obviously there's nothing I can do here apart from just deal with the situation.
Yeah, you got to work with it. You got.
So I've got to do what I got to do. Now, bearing in mind that this couple had booked me because his sister had booked me for her wedding, and hers was popping, and they were like this crowd. They were a bit of a cheesy crowd. They liked the boy bands and all that sing-alongy stuff, which it's not. I can deal with it. Like I don't mind. I play anything. It doesn't bother me. And some of them I quite enjoy. Like it's nice to switch it up from time to time.
Yeah,
but
same.
They just loved it, mate. You stick on Backstreet Boys. I had like 200 people going absolutely off their nut to it. They were loving it. So anyway, so he's booked me off the back of that. So he's already seen what I do. So his expectations are, I've seen you.
Yeah, I want that more.
I want the same. Yeah, you are the go-to guy. We've seen what you do. I've been at a wedding. I've been on the dance floor with you DJing all night. We're going to book you for ours. Sweet. So this is the venue I've turned up at for his wedding. And I'm like, this is just fantastic, isn't it? So their expectations of me are through the roof. I've got my mum's tights strapped to the speakers up on the ceiling with this little box here. And I'm like, wow, you have just done me over so hard here. So I've plugged everything in, and the woman's come round from the bar area, and she was obviously like in charge of the day, whatever. And I was like, can you switch it all on? Because I want to have a quick sound check. Now, I was only booked for the evening on this one, so I was just setting up in the morning. I was going to go, and then I'll be back later on.
Yeah.
So she's turned it on. So now I've put all my faders up. I'm like, bang, put the tune on. I'm easing it up. I'm like, okay. I'm like, fucking hell, is that it? Like, and when this is not a joke. Like, me and my missus go on holiday. We've got this little boom bar thing, right? This tiny little fucking
Bluetooth speaker type thing.
Yeah, little speaker thing. We play it in a room while we're getting ready. And it rumps, mate, this little thing. It's fantastic.
That's his thing.
I think it's like a little Bose thing. It's amazing. My boom bar was 1,000,000 times better than their sound system in their venue. Oh my
God.
It was so quiet. So I said to her, oh, can you just do me a favour? Can you just put it up to what it's going to be later so I can actually get the levels and get an idea on what it's going to be? She was like, yeah, that's it.
That's it. That is it.
I was like, wow, like you have just done me over hard. I was like, that can't be it. Like when I tell you could have a very like quiet conversation with someone on the middle of the dance floor, no problem. It was like wedding meal background music. That's the level that I was having to work with. God. And I was like, you are joking me. So we've done the first dance. I'm fucking, all my gains are up. I'm redlining the shit out of
Yeah,
this
because you're trying to get as much sound as you can.
maximum.
Yeah.
But obviously you can't go too bad because it's going to sound distorted. So
Yeah,
I'm
the
trying
sound is
to
going to, yeah.
get it to a level where I think, yeah, okay, like, but I couldn't mix though. This was the other problem now. And I didn't bring a monitor with me on this one, which was my stupid mistake. But I can't hear because the speakers are like at the opposite end of the room as well, facing onto the dance floor. So they're kind of pointed downwards. And yeah, I couldn't hear anything. So as soon as the first dance was done, I've played the first song. Everyone's all like, "Ooh!" And they're all coming up to me and like, mate, you got to turn this up.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we're on the dance floor and we can't even hear it. And
Now
I'm
look.
like, what do I do
Now
now?
look, you're looking like the pleb.
dick.
You,
Yeah.
you. They don't
Me.
look at the venue at that stage.
No,
They're like,
no.
this DJ's rubbish, and you're like,
Yeah.
and no one knows. Obviously, the logistics. That this has got nothing to do with me. Look at the tights up there. That's not my tights.
The tights, they're not
Install-
my tights. They're not my tights.
I didn't install the types up there. Do you know what I mean? People don't
yeah.
know that. So this is the thing I say about
don't.
DJs. Like, we get the stick now. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
We are that rubbish DJ. I'm never this, whatever it is.
Sound
you
system
know.
was awful. Wasn't loud enough. Sounded
He
like
was
shit.
rubbish.
And I'm
These
like,
times you're amazing, but they're like, nah, he was
Yeah.
rubbish. I couldn't even hear it. That's their review. That's it. From the night,
Yeah, it's
Rebecca's
hard.
wedding, DJ was crap, man. I couldn't even hear it. Yeah.
But it's what the
now
guest
we
as
look
well. So the
rubbish.
bride and groom probably would know about that. So you probably wouldn't get a bad review because
You probably,
I
yeah.
explained to them and I said
Yeah.
to them on the night because I think the groom came up to me and was like, "Can we not turn it up a bit?" I said, "Mate, I would love to. Like, you've seen what I do. You know what I'm normally capable of. I have got no control over the sound. All my shit is up to the max.
Yeah.
You've got
I can't
nothing more.
do nothing
unless
else,
you go and speak to them. All the controls are in the bar for their sound system. So unless you can go and do it. And then, just to top it off, the owner walks in. Empty dance floor at this point. So after the first few songs, it was. I'm not joking. It was tragic.
I can hear you. I've been to one or two venues like that. Though I
was crying inside.
Yeah,
I was like,
and the
wow,
time moves
like,
so slow, innit? Like you're looking at when am I leaving this?
It was
I've only been
dead.
it's
and
times.
everyone just pissed off. And then at that point, the owner's walked up, and he's this cocky prick, and he looks over to me, and he's beckoning me over, and I'm like, what's he want? So I've walked over. I've pulled him into the kitchen. He's pulled me into the kitchen area, and he was like, right, just want to have a quick talk with you about the music. And I knew straight away this guy had a problem with DJs. You could just tell his attitude stunk. And the way he beckoned me over was so rude. I thought, wow.
Belittling a little bit, innit? Yeah,
he was just rude. And he got my back up. As soon as he was like, he pointed like that and went like that. And
like
I was
it was school, like you was a student.
Literally like that. And I'm like, wow, who's this guy I think he's doing that to? So when he's pulled me in, as soon as he started, just before he started talking, like, as he started saying, right, I want to talk to you about the music levels, I was like, look, just stop there. It's fine. I know you've got your own sound system. I've plugged into it. I know you have control. I'm just going to do what I do.
For the job, and you won't see me again.
Whatever I say or do, you're not going to change nothing.
Yeah, it's your house. It's your house.
It's your house, your rules.
Yeah,
I just have to do the best that I can do with what
for the
I've
client,
got.
and I'm dipping. Yeah.
And as soon as I said that to him, he turned around to me and he was like, he goes, first of all, don't raise your voice at me. I was like, wow! I was like, did you, mate? I swear to God, it was like being in like the headmaster's office. The way he said that,
And the thing is, though, I know you wasn't shouting. I know you wasn't shouting.
I'm a loud person, so I said that to him after. I was like, listen, I'm not shouting. I'm just loud. Like, I talk loud. Everyone who knows me knows I talk loud. I have a loud voice. And he took that as if I'm like raising my voice at him. And I just went, look, mate, it is what it is. And I walked back behind the decks. I thought, I'm not even going to bother having the conversation with him. But yeah, he was so rude, this guy. And then from that day onwards, that's it, boycott. I was like, I'm ever going back there.
For me, do you know where the red card is there? It's the way he spoke to you in this industry.
100%.
Yeah, respect is the simplest
everything,
thing.
Yeah,
like when we go to venues that we would never, because we understand we're walking into someone's house at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? So obviously they own the venue, but that's the way I look at it. Is that I'm coming into your house to work, and the first person I want to respect is the house rules, and I've got a job to do for the clients. I've got two people that I need to please, but I'm very respectful, and I'm sure you are as well. When you go into the venue,
you have to be
respect, polite, ready to help, all those kind of things. It's a wedding. It's a bloody wedding. We're not here for a boxing match. We're here to make the best day, same as the venue and us.
But everyone needs to work together.
We have to
make it
together. So when people talk to suppliers like crap, and you know what? There'll be times I'll be like, yeah, I'm out. But the client, I don't.
Yeah. You
Oh,
have to.
Lee,
You have
what?
to. Just
You talking?
yeah.
All right, cool. Do you know what? I'm out. No one talks
I'm
to me.
out,
I'm a grown
yeah.
man, bro. Like we're not
Yeah.
far different in age. Don't talk to me like I'm your son. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You
But
don't. You
they
don't
do
pay my
though.
rent.
That goes back to the whole like,
How they see DJs and how they kind of
yeah,
belittle us. Yeah, no,
yeah,
100%. I get
and
it. Oh, you're just a
it has
DJ,
that,
mate. Just
yeah.
just shut up and do
You're
your
not
job.
like a big part of this
Yeah,
day.
you're
Like
not that
everybody
respected.
else
Yeah.
is. Yeah, yeah. And it's sad because it's like I always try my best and I always try and make the best impression ever on and everybody I meet. And it doesn't matter if it's a car park attendant at the venue. Like I'm always respectful. I always move the van. If someone says you can't park there, no problem. If I've got to like load a little bit of a pain in the arse way because they said don't park there, I'm not going to be like fuck you, mate. I'm loading it.
Yeah. I'm
It's
still
just
gonna.
that everyone has to work together, so you
Yeah,
have to do your
100%.
best to make it happen. But next part is sound ceiling speakers. Have you ever dealt with one of these
Yes,
before?
I have.
Which is
Yes,
coming on to my next part because
I
as soon as you
have.
said that, when you said in-house systems, the most I deal with
They're
are
called.
the ones that are in the ceiling.
They call them waterfall speakers.
Okay, do you know what's
Apparently.
mad? Do you know what's mad about this? Right,
Go on,
about
go
these.
on.
Do you know how much they cost to have these installed?
I can imagine they're ridiculously priced.
I don't know, off the top of my head, I think it's about the £20,000 to £30,000 mark.
Oh
So
my
they are
days.
not cheap in
Yeah.
any way, shape, or form. The ones that
Wow.
I've seen and dealt with, they are pricey. So venues have these installed because they obviously still want the day to be good, but they want to try and maximize the sound,
For the evening,
but minimise the trouble that
disruption
it's
for
going to
the
cause.
yeah.
And they're good if you're on the dance floor.
If you're on the dance floor, and that's why I think they're so expensive, because they're directional.
They come down
like,
to
literally,
on
if
top
you're
of you.
If you step 1 foot on the dance floor, you're in the
Can't
club.
hear it. Yeah.
But no, but if
No,
you
you
step
can't.
1 foot off the dance floor, you're in the
yeah.
smoking area. And you're like,
Yeah.
hold on.
100%.
So
and
there
it's
must be
weird.
some expensive science, because
Yeah.
it is sick
It
how that
is.
happens. Yeah,
It is very clever,
Yeah.
but I'm never DJing underneath it, so
No,
I don't know
no.
what it sounds
No,
like.
no, bro. I know. We might as well set up our decks on the dance floor. Sorry, guys.
It would be so much easier. Well,
So much more better.
I did one at a venue, which I've been to a few times, and they've got one, but you can't see it because it's like a marquee, so it's kind of hid. But under the so you can't actually see it, but it's directly above the dance floor, facing down.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
Do you know this one?
100% I know. 100%.
So
They'll never let you bring any speaker. One time, they let me bring a little monitor one time, only because I hid it.
I did.
The evening stuff, like the daytime
have
lady,
to.
she was gone. So then when the evening, I was like, the other people, I was like, we don't really care.
Cannot
No
mix
one
there.
lives there. There's no yards.
I know.
We're in the fields,
it's fields
bro.
everywhere. You're talking about the same place.
Yeah. When I leave, I'm driving out the venue. Field, turn. Field, turn. I'm like, there's so much fields. Anyway, sorry, we're going off topic. Yes. So the speakers, the directional speakers. Yes, carry on.
But yeah, you have to bring a monitor to that because I cannot hear that. So I did one there not that long ago there, and I'm thumping it out. And where I'm standing, it sounds good. I'm like, okay, I'm just off the dance floor, so I'm not directly under it, but I can hear it loud enough. And one of the I can't remember who she was, like one of the guests, or some girl, some woman with her bloke, they were dancing away and they kept looking at me and they were going like pointing to their ear. And I'm like, what? So I beckoned them out. I was like, come over here. I don't know what you're trying to say.
What you're saying,
me.
yeah.
So she come behind the booth and she's like, oh God, you can't really hear it here. And I'm like, no, you can't. She's like, now I see why it sounds a bit shit. And I'm like, why, what's the matter? She's like, the bass.
It's distorted. It's farting
on the bass,
yeah.
farting bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is it? So I've walked round onto the dance floor.
And you're like, oh my God, it sounds like crap under here.
It did not sound like that at all from where I'm standing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, because then I've turned the bass right down, because I thought, you can obviously, I'm overdoing it on the bass. I usually have my bass, everything's usually at 12 o'clock. Yeah, all my levels normally bang on 12 o'clock, and you just adjust as and when you need. So I had to turn the bass down to like a quarter. Then I'll come back round to the dance floor. I'm like, okay, that's, and they're looking at me. They're like, yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
then we can keep it at that level. Yeah,
but that again, it's hard because it's like I I can't vibe as much because I'm not hearing what they're hearing. It's very different on the dance floor.
It's hard.
So I'm trying to mix and trying to do what I do, but then again, and it's hard for people who are sat down or at the bar because it doesn't have this. When you hear it loud, you're like, "That's my tune." They can't run over to the dance floor. It doesn't have that effect at all. You play a tune and it's too quiet over there. They can't hear it. But the people on the dance floor are all loving it. They're like, "Oh yeah." But it's hard to then gather more people onto the dance floor. With
to
one
give
of
them the
those
night
systems.
that they want, that they've seen on the socials. I feel you.
So
I
don't mind. It's just they're both sound limiters and systems. They're equally as shit as each other. You can't pick one or the other. I prefer to have neither.
I think I agree. The waterfall speakers, I think, are wild. I feel if you have waterfall speakers or above head speakers, whatever you call them, inside the thing, don't worry about that thumbs up. I don't know.
I was going to say, what was that? My screen's really dark and I'm looking.
Apparently, there's some new. Yeah, if you do that.
Swing!
Yeah, look.
Fireworks.
And the thing is, I don't want that on my podcast.
No,
but where's mine? See, all my
mate.
effects. You've got everything working.
I've got everything. God, I wish I'd have known that one earlier. I would have been rinsing that on this one.
But I think if you've got those overhead speakers or any built-in sound, I think venues should have a little monitor for speakers, little 8-inch monitor. Because I've recently got myself for this year like a little 8-inch monitor, little JBL type monitor thing for any of those places, and it will stay with me because it's so small. I can just always bring it. If I come to a place and I'm like, if I haven't been there before, especially and I don't know what's going on, I'm like, look, just bring the monitor just in case because I want to make sure that we can deliver the work that the client wants. And if they've got a waterfall speaker, no problem. I'll use this. I'll set the level,
and you can still vibe with that because it doesn't have to be ridiculously loud. As long as it's a monitor,
be mad loud. I need to hear it.
So
you can mix
to be able to mix,
to do the things that you need to do and vibe. And then when it comes to limiters, I find that there's so many different types. There's some limiters that are so sensitive. I'm like, wow. And there's some limiters that clip you out, but you're back in 30 seconds. Then there's some that clip you out and you're back in 2-3 minutes. It's wild.
And it feels like an hour because you're like, hello, are you going to come back on now?
Everyone's going, boo. And you're like, it goes all black. Everyone's like, oh.
It literally goes into darkness. So I was speaking to a few DJs recently about having like a backup generator for this sort of thing, where you can like have some sort of battery powered something like, you know, those Jackanory boxes.
Jackeries, with the little
yeah. So that when you trip, nothing goes off, but you know it's tripped, but it will kick in, so it won't cut the music or the lights.
The music continues. The
but
lights.
You know, because you always got to try.
Limit.
Yeah, you know when you're, but it just doesn't mean it doesn't ruin the night. So it's great, and I think that's such a downside of these limiters. Like, it's all very well saying you have to be within this limit, but I feel like the whole cut-off situation is brutal, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's
super
brutal.
Vibe killer. Killer.
And it ruins the night. And I've had it a few times where, you know, I've tried to keep it in, I've tried to be respectful, but just when where it's like you're in the mix, you're dancing. When you're vibing. I ain't got time to be looking up at the ceiling all night long every time I drop a tune, because you know when you're mixing as well, the song coming in is usually a little bit more louder anyway for a bit of impact when it's like bang, or you're dropping a tune in, and then it goes straight into the red, and you're like, shit.
Yeah, turn it down.
Or you drop it, everyone goes, whoa, and it goes, poof.
That's the worst. Like, that's the worst one. Because now, that's not you, that's the crowd that's done that. It's the, you know, when the crowd trip it, it's not even you. They go, what? Ole.
I had this last year on a grand entrance, and it was the worst. And this is that one for that first venue I was talking about, which we've agreed to just not do it there anymore because their words was my vibe was too much for their venue. They're not about that whole that energetic, just go fucking mental. They're just they're not that vibe.
Yeah. That's not what they want at their venue. That's
it could
fine.
be,
and that's
it could
fine.
be,
That's
but
fine.
it just does it. It's just not for them. But I did the grand entrance and I've introduced them in, and I got the level. I set all the levels up perfectly. I thought, let me do it so it's just in the amber. We won't go to red because it's too risky. So I had a tester in the morning, set it up exactly where I needed it to be. Perfect. They've walked into the room. I've got them rattled up hard on this one. And they've jumped off their seats. They're like, going absolutely nuts. And as soon as I pressed play, it just went red. And I was like, shit. So I've quickly grabbed the fader, went to turn it down, but it was too late because
It's
it
too
was
late.
such. When they cheered and
The
the drop
impact.
came at the
Yeah,
same
it's done.
time,
It's done.
they went nuts. And it just, they said, come in. It played about 3 seconds of the song. Everyone's like, and then the song just went, doof. And he went, and everyone was like, what the fuck's going on? So he kind of, then everyone sort of just dropped, the whole atmosphere just dropped. And I was like, this is something you can't redo.
Yeah.
The grand entrance is a
my-
one-time
They're trying to
offer.
come in with the energy, but now
Yeah.
everyone's looking around like, why has the song
now it's
started
like,
again? Do we need to?
And then I couldn't even say anything on the mic because the sound's off, so I can't even like continue to hype it up.
My
So I'm like,
God.
everyone, I would have just jumped out because I grabbed the mic and I was about to be like, everyone make some noise, the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. But I couldn't because the sound's off and it's tripped out. And I think their one as well is once it trips, you have to wait for a member of staff to go and reset it.
Go
with the
round to
key.
the back, yeah.
So it's not even a case of just waiting. So I just had to awkwardly stand there with my head in my hands like this. I was like, wow. Bride and groom looked over at me and they were like, and I pre-warned them about this. So there was nothing, there was no bad vibes on my part. I said to them, you've got to stand him and I'm going to do my absolute best to keep it with him. But crowd noise always peaks these things over when they start screaming and
They
shouting
get
and
excited,
stuff.
which they will. You've got a lively bunch today.
And they were a good bunch, and it was very vibey when they come into the room. And then we laughed about it after. They were cracking up, like it was funny, and I'm glad they saw the funny side of it.
The actual
because
time,
I
you're
pre-warned
thinking,
it.
yeah.
I wanted to die, mate. Because where I'm at the back I'm in that corner of the room, so I've introduced them in. As I've introduced them, I've gone walking over to the back of the room, press play as they've then come in. Bang, and then that's kind of then everybody who's like around all the tables that were like near where I was set up just looked straight at me. They were staring at me, and I was like, "This ain't me.
This ain't me. This is another
nothing
thing.
to do with
They
me."
all blame us there. That's what I'm saying, man. Like,
But
we get the blame for some
it's like you
stuff.
get shit equipment, like it's cutting out. At a
Yeah,
crucial
you're like,
time,
this is
and
not
I'm
my
like,
equipment. Like, this is not my equipment. Will
so
never cut out. Like,
embarrassing.
it's,
I'm
yeah,
just
this is
glad they
another
saw
thing.
the
Like,
good
we take the hits as DJs.
Yeah.
These are hits that we take, like constant shots. So you got to remember
Shots fired
just
regularly.
taking shots. So you got to remember, like someone like the bride's dad or the bride's uncle or the groom's mate from work or whatever. Yeah, you know the people like those ones, right? They're sitting there. They won't say nothing to the groom or bride. They won't. They're just gonna enjoy the day. They're gonna come enjoy the day. They're gonna think, yeah. Lovely venue, so lovely. Oh, I've so seen it. Oh, the ceremony was nice. The violinist, oh, she was amazing. The weather, the drinks, oh, it could have been any better. The food, the service, it was epic. And then when it came to the party, this bloody DJ kept turning off the music every 20 minutes.
Yeah, just as we was getting into it.
Just as we get into it, he kept turning off the bloody music.
Turning off his lights.
Yeah, it turned off his lights. Under where we was dancing, it was distorted. Like we couldn't hear anything. Like, bro, we're taking shots.
Literally, it
These
doesn't
times,
look good. See,
it
when you
doesn't
just
look
put
good.
it like that,
And it's
that
not
sounds
us.
awful.
It sounds awful. So it's funny now you said that because I was thinking that as you said earlier about we are we're like the ugly ducklings in the wedding industry, and I'm like, I've never thought of it like that. But as we're talking, my brain's processing what you said.
Yeah,
and then,
it is.
And then I'm now kind of I understand it a bit.
Do you know what?
From that perspective, everyone's professional, but when these bloody DJs come, they're
we're
not
just like
listening.
the ropey white boys that just come in later on and just
we
tear
come
it up
later
and
on.
get the easy
They make
part.
noise and they're always complaining and so we're getting some shots from the venue like, those guys don't listen. We're getting some shots from the clients like, that last DJ was rubbish. Make sure you book a good one because that rubbish one turning off the music every now and then. What was his problem?
It's so funny, the whole stigma around DJs. You know, it's so funny. I did like a promo shoot with a mate of mine recently, and she's lovely, bless her. Big up Sophie if you're watching. Sophie, oh my God. She said something that really rattled me recently.
Yeah.
And she did a video and she was waiting for me to come. So she said to me to come at this time, whatever. So I've got there like an hour early and I'm sitting there and she's posted up this video. And she was like, yeah, we're all here. We're doing a promo shoot today. Everybody's here apart from Daryl. You know, DJ's always running late. And I was like, listen, I would get there 2 hours early and sit in a van than to be 1 minute late. I would never. But DJs just have this stigma. It's like they're late. They cause trouble. They're a nuisance.
They don't listen. They keep turning off the music.
And I was like, listen, Soph, I'm telling you, I've never been that guy. But that's just her thing of that. But that's what other people also have. It's just this reputation. the DJs are like the riff-raff of the wedding
Yeah,
industry.
yeah.
Everything else is all organised and smart
plush
and
and
pretty.
lovely and yeah.
Luxury. And this looks
Yeah.
lovely and that. And you just get us fuckers that come in and be like, what are you doing? What a fucking just terrorise it up, cause a nuisance, making all the guests fuck the venue up because there's alcohol everywhere and fucking. We just make some of the dance floors that I've left, like at the end of the night, the poor staff are walking around and there's blood, sweat, tears, beer, wine. It's just claret everywhere. You just look at the floor and they just look at you in disgust and go, what have you done to her? And I'm just doing my job, mate.
I'm just doing my job.
I'm just doing my job.
I didn't do that, you know. I did not do that.
I'm here. Yeah, I haven't stepped one foot over there.
Like, that was not done by me. But don't get me wrong. For me, that's signs of an epic night. That's the signs of like today. I don't know. Good job. Those people, the feet are hurting. No one's wearing heels anymore. Yeah, I know you might not have sold any drinks for the last hour because I was going in. Ties are on head, shirts are ripped. Someone lost their phone. Yeah, bruv. That's what I want to hear. That's what happens.
That's the ideal. That's the ideal party right there.
All right, I'm mindful of time though. I need to quickly rush through because we've only got a couple more. But it's actually great that you was talking about the stigma of DJs and how we're not respected, because this opens up the forum perfectly for my next question, which is, Darryl, why do you think it is, with the DJ industry and individuals, because obviously we run our companies, we're not told what to do and whatever. Why is it that you think like DJs don't charge what they should be charging? Because it's funny that we just mentioned that about the stigma, but then now I'm starting to think some of those stigmas, as DJs, we pull it on ourselves. Like, we might not respect ourselves as much as we should. We don't advertise ourselves. Maybe we are a bit rude. Maybe there's some things that we should change ourselves. But one of the main things I want to change for a lot of DJs is pricing. And I want to say to you, why is it you feel DJs don't like price, right in what they do? Bit of a double-winded question there. A bit of a hard one. A bit of a loaded barrel.
We might need to do a part 3, mate. Jesus,
I know we might.
You're dropping these big questions that I've got so much to say about.
Actually, I'm going to change this question. I'm going to change the question. And I'm going to change it to, what gave you the confidence to charge, because you charge over 1,000, which I think most DJs should, but you charge over 1,000. What is it that gave you the confidence to charge over 1,000? Let's start with that one, because then that way you don't have to think about others. It's just you talking about you.
Okay, fair. Right, very good question. So obviously you know about when I started out, when I was charging 250s, doing residency stuff.
Years ago.
And then when I went full time, so I was still only charging 500 quid ish when I started, doing more of my own stuff rather than the residency. I started taking on a few different other bookings. I've knocked it up to like 500 quid. And when I was charging that sort of price, do you know Ewan Bass? Yeah. Okay.
I can see his face now. Yeah.
Legend guy. Big beard.
Yeah. Glasses. Got the hair.
He's got the hair.
Yeah. He's old school. He's raw. He's a raw guy. I remember I met him at promo. Tells you how it is.
He would be a great person to come on your podcast.
I can't wait to get you on. I literally can't wait to get him on.
He would give you some amazing content.
And he's at that stage where his filter is totally gone. He doesn't give.
Gone. Yeah.
I will say, if I hurt someone's feelings, I don't care. That's a you problem.
Yeah, literally. That's it.
Yeah, that's you.
When back in the day, again, this must have been about 2017, maybe 2018. He did a course which was to up your prices and do just add more value to what you already do by doing all day bookings and stuff like that, like pushing it out rather than just doing the nighttime. You could be doing
offer more value.
Yeah, more value, offer more of a service, a bigger service, and how to sort of really just push things up. And we went to this little thing. There was only a few of us there. There was a few. Mike was there. So again, me and Mike was on a very similar journey at this point, where we were both kind of charging little amounts, and we were looking to just make it big now. We wanted more. Yeah, we wanted more. Well, how can we be leaving a full-time job and going the full hog, making this a thing where you can actually make not just make it work and profitable, but make good money, like
Yeah, you
really
can
good
be-
money,
yeah,
where
yeah,
you can
yeah,
just
yeah.
be rolling in it and fucking only working if sometimes 2 days a week,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
that,
yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
1 day a
100.
week. And he did this course and it was fantastic. And it was such an eye opener because I was so like just stuck in doing what I was doing in a rut. I was just going out, just doing my DJ. I didn't think there was anything more I could do.
Yeah, yeah.
But this opened my eyes, and I was like, "Do you know what? Yeah, I could be doing more. I could. Why not? Like, why am I charging £500? I could possibly be charging £1,000. I could make it double that by staying a few hours and doing their ceremony music and playing their background music for their meal and just doing a few introductions and stuff like that. Like it's quite minor to add on, but you
Yeah.
could get a lot of profit, get a lot from it. So I went on this course and it opened up my eyes massively to what could be done, like all the options that I could do. And then it was more about supply, demand and value for me, where I wanted to make myself known and I wanted to make myself be like so in demand that people would be like, you know, we need to have you, or we need to make sure that you're available on our date.
Yeah. It's
And I wanted to
important.
make it like it was scarce, like it was hard to get me. And if you got me, you're fucking lucky. Because-
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it was all that trying to draw that kind of
Build
like
that supply and demand, innit?
yeah, just build it up to make it look like, you know, I can't not have that at my wedding. I can't
Mm-hmm.
afford to have the resident DJ. I want to pay that extra money and get something that I know is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm,
So I did that. And when I put my prices up to £1,000, and then people were like, "Yeah, okay, cool," and I was like, "Oh, so I should have been done this fucking
Long
ages
time
ago."
ago. 100%
Because
though.
why
100%.
have I only just done this now? And I was so scared to do it when I first put my prices
Same,
up. I
same,
was like,
same.
I said, I'm going to do it for a week. I'm going to just
See
every
what
person
happens.
and see what happens. And if I lose them, worst case scenario,
back.
actually,
Go
I'm
back.
only joking. It's £500. It's fine. I could just revert straight back, and that's blessed. So yeah. So then when I think I put it up to like 1,200 or something. I went a little. I kept pushing it. So every time I was doing a phone call with a couple, I was like, do you know what? People are just booking me. Like if you're converting every single person you speak to, you're too cheap.
You're too cheap. 100%.
Your value is high.
Your value
and
is
your price
high.
is too low.
And the thing is, sometimes, as the person who's delivering the service, you can't see that. Technically, you can't see that.
No,
But sometimes
it's
the
what
clients
they
that are
see.
booking you, they see. So then they
100%.
see. There's some people that you said, 500. 500? Can we book him 4 times? I want him for
Yeah.
Saturday because we ain't got nothing
Yeah,
to do.
yeah,
I want him for my
yeah.
wedding. I want him for my son's
After
football
party.
game. I want an after party. And do you know what, babe? What are we doing tonight? Yeah, time to come
Yeah.
down tonight. I'll call Steve. Yeah. Have a
This
house
is
party.
it.
Because they're like, I
This
thought it was
is
going to
it.
be actually cost
Yeah.
something, but 500 quid is nothing. So yeah.
So yes, I pushed it up to 1,200.
Yeah.
And then I just kept upping it, see what happens.
Yeah.
And every time they were like, "Yep, sweet,
Yep,
we're booking in."
yep,
Yep.
yep.
And I think I got it up to like 1,500, and I was like, still getting pretty much every
All the
single
bookings.
person
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
spoke to, they were booking, and I was like. So obviously there's a big demand for me right now because people are willing to pay
It's not
pretty much whatever I'm saying.
3
they'll
times
pay
what you
for
was
it.
before. Yeah.
Yeah. And then again, like I've just kept trickling it up. Every year I put it up a little bit more. And now just for the evening, £2,000.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting booked up every single one. No problem. There's
Guys,
literally
did you
no-
hear that?
Every single one.
£2,000 for the evening. This is, and I know some people that are listening thinking, what? Huh?
They think it's unreachable.
They
but
think it's
not.
unreachable, and it's
so
not,
not.
unreachable, guys. Don't get me wrong. Everyone's number might be different, but I'm telling, for some of you DJs that are charging less than £500, I'm telling you now, you can charge more. Give it a go. That's exactly what Darryl just said. Try
Just
that
try it and
same
see.
system
Yeah.
yourself for your next 2 inquiries. Two
But
inquiries.
you have to back it though. You have to be able
That's
to
the one
back
thing I was
it
going
as
to say
well.
next, Darryl, is your value has to be there. This
Yes.
is what we bang on about
You
social
can't
media.
just go,
you can't
"Oh,
just
I'm
go
gonna
and
just
say,
charge
I'm
what I
this.
want."
And
No.
if people can't see that, because
Yes.
it's the client that decides how much you're worth, not you.
Yes.
The
Yes.
client does. So if you put that price up and your client say, what? Nah, I want a 350 DJ. Sadly, guys, you're a 350 DJ and you got to go back down to your price. Or if you can only sell 500, sadly, and actually it's not sadly, it means that there's something that you need to do to make sure that you can show value. And listening to
Exactly
this podcast
that.
and staying listening to this podcast and stuff that we're going to be talking about will help you do that. Anyway, sorry. So
yeah,
true, better than that.
you have to add value, man.
Have to add value.
You have to look as though they need you. They don't want you. They need you.
They need you,
can't
yeah.
have a wedding without
you.
And you
anyone
do
else
that
would
by
be.
collecting amazing reviews. You have to have content. You have to have actual, not just pictures of the setup. See, this is such a schoolboy error. I see so many people do. Everybody's got pictures of their DJ booth. Trust me, no bride gives a shit about your DJ booth. I'll tell it straight. Not one person that goes, oh yeah, look what a lovely booth, I'm booking him.
No one cares.
No, you don't book a photographer because of their camera, do you?
No.
You book it because of what they give
pictures
you at
that
the
they
end,
get.
the end result.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so it's the same for DJs. They don't want to see pictures of your DJ booth. They want to see pictures of people going absolutely nuts. And they want to see grandma on the dance floor fucking skanking down. They want to see the cousins all up there having fun. Everybody just looking like they're having a good fun. And that is where, once you've got all those things in motion, then you can start putting your prices up and going, right, I think I could get this down. And you just have to trial and error it.
Trial and error.
You can
And
keep
don't be
going up,
scared.
and then if you get to a point where you go, oh, fuck it, I'm going to try and put it up to £1,000. If I'm 600 quid or 700 quid, I'm going to put it up to £1,000. If you don't get the grand and you're not converting anything, then you need to go back and go, right, there's something that's missing here where I'm not, they're not valuing me at that price. They're not wanting me at that price. But they're wanting me at 500 or 600, and they're like, oh no, we can't say it. And if they're not willing to push up by just 300 quid to book you, then they don't want you bad enough. You're not that priority. Because most people, if I said to someone, oh, you know, I'm 300, 1,400.
So guys, it looks like we've lost Dal, but I'm going to finish off for him because I can. I know exactly where he's going with it. I've only got a budget of 1,200. Then obviously now you've got the choice. You can actually see that it's not that they don't value. That's just kind of what their budget is, and you can stick within that and then go for that and then offer it to. You can say to them, "I'm willing to do it," or "I'm not willing to do it," and you can go from there. And if you're not able to get that money, like he was saying, then you can come back and then relook at some of your stuff, relook at your content, or get someone else to look at your stuff and see what it is you might be missing. Because sometimes when it's ourselves, it's hard for us to see what others see, and it's hard for us to critique ourselves. So sometimes get someone to critique you. And when you get someone to critique you, don't get a friend or a family. A friend or a family member is going to give you what you want to hear. Sometimes you need to hear something from an external person, and they're going to give you what you need to hear. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this episode because I'm not sure if we're going to come back or not. But anyway, we're going to wrap this episode. We'll have to probably get Daryl again because I love his energy and I love some of the things that he's got to say. And I hope you lot got something from that. If you've got any comments or questions, make sure you head over to the Instagram, head over to the DMs and leave an audio voice note, guys. You can leave an audio voice note where I will be able to play on here if it makes sense. If there's a question that you want to ask, if there's something that you want to agree to or even disagree to, I'm more than happy. Make sure you head over to Instagram, mobile DJ Mastery, and leave your comments in the DM. And make sure you obviously follow. Why not, while you're there as well, head over to follow. And while you're there, move over to YouTube, give us a subscribe or a comment or a like. And wherever you are listening to us, make sure you're following so you can hear more episodes. We've got more knowledge, much more, lots of different experts to come and talk to all of us guys because we can all learn, and I hope we're all learning from this. Daryl, thank you so much for joining me today on this episode of the Mobile DJ Mastery Podcast. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same place. You know the drill. Keep it real. Whatever it is you're doing this weekend, make sure you go and smash it. Beat match, make them know what's going on. Limiters and in-house sound. A thing that I'm doing this year is I've now brought a monitor. So I bring a monitor to venues where I don't know what it is they're doing, or you can call ahead and find out. And if I'm ever not sure, a monitor right now is going to be my help. That way I can stay within the limits. If there's a limiter or if there's an in-house speaker, I don't mind. I set my speaker and I keep my monitor. Long term, what I'll probably be doing is there'll be some venues that I'll do the same thing. I have a couple already which are red X's and I won't be returning to, and there'll be some venues where I'm like, okay, the venue wasn't that bad, I just need my own speaker. That speaker over there was great, but I needed something for myself and I have a monitor. So there's some quick take homes as well, man. Anyway guys, same time, same place next week. You know the drill. Mobile DJ Mastery out again for another week. Peace.